Islam. He's the kind of fighter you'd come up with if you were trying to build the perfect one from scratch. He's the pound-for-pound king and the current lightweight champ, and has smashed legends like Charles Oliveira, knocked out Volkanovski, and even submitted Dustin in the 5th round. Let's start with his wrestling. A lot of people thought he'd avoid going to the ground with Charles Oliveira because of Charles's crazy jiu-jitsu game, but nope, that didn't happen. Islam took him down and controlled him like it was nothing. Then, in the fight with Poirier, he kept the pressure on and shut down Dustin's striking by constantly dragging him to the mat. It's fair to say he might be the best wrestler in the UFC right now. But Islam isn't just some grappler. His striking has come a long way in the past couple years. It's actually one of his most underrated weapons. He dropped Oliveira, outboxed Dustin at times, and knocked out Volk. Sure, you could say Volk took the fight on short notice, but Islam wasn't prepping for Volk either, so that goes both ways. His striking has gotten so good that some even consider him more of a striker. That's not really true though. At his core, he's still a wrestler who just happens to be great at everything else too. Then there's his submission game. This speaks for itself. He choked out Oliveira, arguably the best submission artist in UFC history, and made Dustin tap and nap in the same fight. Durability isn't an issue for him either. He went 5 full rounds with both Volk and Poirier and never looked overwhelmed. Tom Aspinall. The dude is a monster. He's the interim heavyweight champ, but at this point, you can call him the real champ. With John Jones out, Aspinall's been clearing out the division at a crazy pace. For someone his size, he's got ridiculous speed and accuracy. His wrestling doesn't get talked about enough. He doesn't need to use it often, but when he does, he almost always gets the takedown. And he's smart about it too. He doesn't shoot just to shoot. He waits for the right moment or uses it to keep his opponents guessing. When it comes to striking, he's top tier. Aspinall's boxing is clean, fast, and powerful. He's got some of the best hands in the division and knows exactly how to use his reach. Every punch has a purpose. He sets traps, picks his shots, and ends fights early. That's why he holds the record for the shortest average fight time in UFC history. Submission-wise, he's no slouch either. Tom's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it runs in the family. His dad was one of the first BJJ black belts in the UK, so Aspinall's been grappling since he was a kid. He made it look easy when he submitted Volkov and Arlovski. If you somehow survive those first few punches, there's a good chance he'll just choke you out instead. Ilya. This guy is undefeated at 16-0. That alone makes him special. His wrestling is solid. He showed it off against Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell, who are both known for their grappling. He dominated both of them. He even made Bryce Mitchell, who came in with a lot of hype, look completely average. Ilya doesn't rely on his wrestling every fight, but it's always in his back pocket when he needs it. His striking speaks for itself. He knocked out both Volk and Max, straight up bullied Josh Emmett for 5 rounds, and broke down Mitchell on the feet. He's got power, precision, and knows how to keep the pressure on. Submissions. That's actually where Ilya started. He's got more wins by submission than by knockout in his career. He's a legit grappler with a solid base. What makes him so dangerous is how smoothly he can switch between grappling and striking. Durability-wise, he's solid too. He ate a big head kick from Jay Herbert and still came back to win by KO. He's gone the distance in other fights and looked fresh even in the later rounds. Mauricio Ruffi. He's unranked right now, but I promise you, he'll be a future star soon. He's only 4 fights into his UFC career and has already made a big impact. 3 of those 4 wins were by knockouts. In fact, 11 of his last 12 MMA wins have come by KO or TKO. His striking is crazy. A lot of people have started comparing him to early McGregor. Wrestling. We've seen glimpses of it. He hit a nice takedown late in the first round against Jimmy Malarkey. In the Contender Series, he also showed solid control and defense. It's hard to say how well he'd do against a real wrestling threat, but so far nothing alarming. Striking is obviously his bread and butter. He's so fluid and accurate with his punches. Against Malarkey, his timing was perfect. Everything he threw had a purpose. He's also shown good pacing and composure over 3 rounds, so cardio doesn't seem like an issue. Submission game? Still a mystery. He hasn't attempted much on the ground, but he also hasn't been caught either.